So what do you think about going DoorDash with a convicted felon? Wait, you gotta look at the camera. What do you?
Okay.
You're in a vehicle right now with a convicted felon. How does that make you feel? Do you feel uncomfortable?
No, I don't feel uncomfortable. I feel safe. I love my convicted felon because he's not a convicted felon anymore.
All right, so we fixing to go DoorDash and we're trying to make $85. I got my wife riding along with me, riding shotgun, and we are going to try to make $85 DoorDashing. Dun, 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 with the top and the top out. Wait, is there a top on this car?
No.
Okay, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're going to try to make $85. You think we can do it?
We can do it.
Right, let's get it. Are we worried about the police behind us?
We not worried about the popo.
All right, we're going outside the gate. Once we get out this gate, we putting the DoorDash and signal on, and we're going to see if we can make some money tonight to show other felons they can make a little money, even though if they're putting miles to ratio. Let's go. First order Taco Bell. What you think about that?
Yep, we're ready to deliver. We got it. We're on our way.
We're going to be happy delivering this Taco Bell?
Yes, we are.
We're going to deliver the best of our ability, right?
Yes, we are. To the best of our ability. And we're going to get a big old fat tip.
Let's do it. Just dropped off Jared B's Taco Bell. We right here by the terminal, by the refinery. Look here. So sometimes you get refinery orders and you get to go drop off food at the refineries. Remember what I've been telling y'all. If y'all watching this and you looking for a job as a felon, go get your TWIC card. You see what I'm looking at? That's the money. That's the real money, not DoorDash. And I told y'all that already. See them ships? That's where you go make your money, on the river. You know what I mean? Then you could order your Taco Bell, you know what I mean, and pay a DoorDash fee, and it ain't gonna make no difference because you're making $40, $50 an hour. You're on time and a half, right? You killing it. Man, get in the field, man. Get out there in the oil field. So, wife, do you prefer me DoorDashing or working on call in the oil field making that money?
DoorDash.
Why you rather me DoorDashing? I was making all that money in the oil field.
I like when you're near me.
Okay, all right. Well, I went from making about $40 to $50 an hour. Now I'm making $4 or $5 every half hour, but I'm still making that money, huh?
Yes, you're still making that money, and that's okay. You got other things you're gonna do.
Let's get it. Look at that. Look at all that stack. Look at all that stuff coming out, that smokestack, right? That's that oil gone. We ran into construction while we was dropping off Jared's Taco Bell, so that put us out we lost about, an extra 3 miles, right? Total all the way around, roundabout way from the construction, but we still got it. It was only $5 or something, but we're trying to stay in our zone, right? We're going back at it. Let's get it. We're going to pick up an order for $2.75. I know it might sound stupid. It is stupid, but the only reason I took it is because the order was literally like 2 blocks away from the Pizza Hut. So that's the only reason I took it. But the one cool thing that we're doing is we're going to the Pizza Hut with the old school vintage Pizza Hut lamps. So we get to look at vintage lamps, and we're going to see if we can talk to the manager, see if we can buy it from him, right? Put it back the truck, and we're going to put that on eBay. So my wife has challenged me to go into a different zone that I've never been in before. Wait, why don't you tell the people what's going on?
We're going to a new zone.
What zone are we going to?
We're going to the Metairie zone.
Metairie zone?
Zone.
So do you think we're going to make money in the zone?
Yes, I think so. I think it's a hot area. I think it's going to be a lot of traffic, and we're going to get a lot of orders.
So we're going to Metairie. We're trying a different zone that I've never worked in since I started doing this DoorDash thing. So we'll let y'all know how we do. We were getting really cheap orders out here on the West Bank tonight, huh? How many we had to decline with like $2 and $3 orders?
A lot of $2 and $3 orders, yeah.
They had to be declined, right?
Declined.
All right, so we're going to try a different zone. All right.
All right, let's do this. Let's go.
DoorDashing in New Orleans. Nothing but $2.75 offers. Look at us. Look in front of me. They literally that's a party bus. You see that party bus? Look at that. We on Canal Street. Look at that. Look at that. Party bus.
Party bus?
That's a Scooby-Doo party bus. My wife put that into my thoughts. Look at that. DoorDashing in New Orleans. We're trying to get to $85, but they keep sending us these Mickey Mouse orders. Look. Cops. Look. Orleans Parish.
Oh, wait, how he did that at a red
Look.
light?
He turned right on red.
Lane.
Yeah, that's right. Look, people just jaywalking. In New Orleans, a jaywalk. You got to deal with jaywalkers when you're dealing with in New Orleans. Look, more jaywalkers. Look, they just jaywalk like it don't mean nothing.
Oh, I can hope that.
You know? Look, this is New Orleans, DoorDash, and we ain't getting no hits right now because we just denied everything. Babe, what did you do?
Decline.
Decline by our
Get
friend.
outta here.
Take the bus, bozo. Decline. We got more. We doing better with the footage of getting the city, right? I'm going to hand the camera to my wife. Look, this right here, that's St. Charles Street. I'm going to hand the camera to my wife, and we just going to get some good footage. We're going to ride around New Orleans and get good footage. So I'll be able to show you some YouTube footage. That'll be better. You know what I mean? Until we get a good hit. We're looking for a $25 hit. DoorDash, baby! Tesla, DoorDashing. Look at the casino. DoorDashing at the casino. Do whatever you got to do. They got all kind of convicts out. We just got a pickup order. We tried to go to Metairie. We wound up in New Orleans. So here we are in New Orleans, and we got a pickup order on Bourbon Street. So we're going to Bourbon Street. If I didn't have my wife with me, there'd be no way we could take an order like that, because I would have to find a place to park and then get out and walk. But unfortunately, my wife is going to have to get out and go walk on Bourbon Street to pick up the order from Mambo's. But we got to take a right on Charters right here. This is going to be Charter Street, right? So we're going to turn right here. Look here, Charter Street. No turn on right. Look, no turn on right. That's what it says right there. No turn on right.
No turn on red.
No turn on red. That's what I meant. No right turn. Right? So here we go. We're about to make this turn. As soon as these people make theirs, I gotta pay attention, right? Remember what I told y'all before. We ex-convicts, if you watching this, you know what I mean? And we trying to make that money. But we got to pay attention, because if we make a mistake, we get double billed. So if I hit one of these crazy pedestrians who've been drinking too much, then I'm going to be the one get double billed. So I really got to pay attention and make my turn. They're going to walk anyway because they ain't got no sense. Their mama's not proud of them no more. You know what I mean? That's just the truth. It sounds harsh. So what do you think about having to go make a pickup for $11.25 on Bourbon Street?
I didn't know it was going to be there, but hey, let's do it.
You just got my back, huh? You support your husband,
yes,
huh?
Yes, I do. Oh, and you can't make a left right here. You're going to have to pull over right here.
Right here?
Right here, yep.
So we're a block away from Bourbon Street. You see this thing? This little checkpoint? They never used to have this until that terrorist attack. And then they started putting these little checkpoints right here on the street. So now it's harder for drivers and everybody, you know? But now this is Bourbon Street we coming on that we DoorDashing on. And, you know, it's a very busy street. And I know it's very overwhelming for my wife, but, you know, we also trying to blow up a YouTube channel. And we ain't got a whole lot of subscribers. Hopefully y'all like and subscribe. So give us a like and subscribe as we try to get the pin and the shank gone, right? Look, we on Bourbon Street DoorDash and trying to make money, trying to show you you can be a felon and still make money. But don't come out here and get tempted. Don't do drugs, don't drink, or they're going to put you in jail, right? You're just trying to make money to support your family. So my wife is going to take over the steering wheel. She's going to drive the little wolf. I'm going to jump out and go grab the food. And then we're going to try to get out of here, because after we take this order and get out of here, we're not coming back to the CBD and taking no more orders. We're going to try to make the rest of our orders on the West Bank where our house is. Is that correct, wife?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Is this overwhelming?
It's a lot. I did not expect this. We are going around in circles just so we can get close to the restaurant. Wow.
That's what we got going on. So bear with us, and we'll go and pick up food for $11.25
Burgundy Street.
order on Mambo's restaurant I never even heard of, because who orders food off of Bourbon Street? Ain't no way in the world that they're local. Man, let's go get this stuff. Literally jump out the vehicle to go get this DoorDash on Bourbon Street, because there's nowhere to park. As you can see, there's cars everywhere. And so I'm walking over here to get this food for this customer for $11.25. So here's the thing. They got marijuana smell everywhere, but I'm walking down the street. You can smell the marijuana. I don't want that stuff on me. I don't even like that stuff. But this is what I'm trying to do. We see when you accept an order and you don't know where you're going, you wind up on Bourbon Street DoorDash and having to walk
Turn
to the
left
order
onto
while
Bourbon
your
Street.
wife waits in the
Then
vehicle
Mambo's
and
will
you
be
get
on
the
the
food.
left.
I'm gonna show you what's ahead of me.
Mambo's is on the left.
So now I'm on Bourbon Street and I'm looking for this restaurant that I'm picking my DoorDash up. This is not what you want to be doing as a convicted felon DoorDashing. You don't want to be on Bourbon Street trying to find a place to pick your food up from and you DoorDashing and you don't, you know what I mean? You're a convicted felon. So you go back to prison, especially on parole. If you're on parole and you're doing this, it's not a good thing to do. You don't want to be on parole. You know what I mean? So when I was on parole and I had to do this, I wouldn't have been out here. But now I got to find this restaurant. You see where I'm at, right? Be careful on how you accept your orders. You're going to wind up out here. That's the restaurant. I finally found the restaurant right there. Finally found it. Now I'm going in the restaurant to get the food. Let's finally do this. So now I got Victoria's food. Now I'm going to go deliver it. I'm going to go drop it off. But in the process, you see everything I got to deal with behind me, right? On Bourbon Street, go and drop my DoorDash. Smell like marijuana and alcohol. I don't want nothing to do with this, right? But here I am. I'm doing what you gotta do, but you don't want to be doing this type of stuff out here, getting caught up as a convicted felon on Bourbon Street. This is how people wind up back in prison, especially if you ain't got a strong attitude. You stuck. You're gonna commit more crime. You'll get tempted. You're gonna start doing drugs, drinking, get caught up with some stuff, crazy stuff. You don't have no business. They got drug dealers, prostitutes, everything out here. So you better do something. Stay right. Don't come out here for $11.25. Look, I'm leaving now. That's how crazy it is. Look, just to get here to park, this is everything I had to deal with. It wasn't worth it. Look, construction, they always got construction in New Orleans. They got roaches in there too. They got everything, but I got this food. Let's get it.
Drive.
All right, so now I'm waiting for my wife and she's gonna be picking me up and she's gonna drive and I'm gonna give y'all some footage of coming through the city during DoorDash time. That's right, let's get it. See, where is she? I don't see her yet. Hopefully I didn't pass her up because this is all extra stuff. This is for $11.25. It's really not worth it. Let's see if we can find a little wolf. Now we're looking for the little wolf. Where's that? No, not yet. There we go. I see little wolf. Coming up right on. We're gonna take and get the little wolf. There's my wife. There's the little wolf.
Drive.
Right there.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto
there.
North Peters Street.
Little wolf. This is where we want to be. We got our order. Now
Drive
we got to get our
southwest
order where
onto
it's going to
Bean
be.
Street.
All right. Wife, I got the order. It's 10 minutes to get there. You think you can get us to the order to drop off to Victoria? She wants her food from Mambo.
I don't know. Let's see.
Come on.
Go.
So when you're out here, you got to hear all this crazy loud music. There's nowhere for my wife to go, but he's revving this thing on us. It's one of them motorbikers. Look, right there. Look. Look, you seen them? Look. They gone. They don't care. Look at them. Look. They just cutting from my wife. That's the stuff you got to deal with when you're door dashing in the central business district, right?
Put your seatbelt
For
on.
$11.25.
Seatbelt.
Look, we about to pass up Deanie's Seafood in New Orleans in the central business district. That's where we celebrated my wife's graduation party at Deanie's Seafood when she undergrad, right, babe?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, this is, look, and for $11.25, we like a block or two off of Bourbon Street, and you're still dealing with people. We about to get on Canal Street. It's crazy. This all the stuff you got to deal with. Look, people jumping in and out of Ubering. The only way you can make money door dashing in New Orleans is if you do what we doing, have a tag team, or if you driving a bike, because even the tag team in a car is really struggling, right? Look at this. Look, they got a band. Look, that's a lady. Look, they got, look. Literally, look here. She got the musical instrument. Look, my man got the drums. Look, he got the drums. Look, this the second line people. Look, my man with the feathers. They going to a wedding. This will hold you up if you get caught in the second line. And see, another thing, DoorDash in New Orleans, you got to worry about the city buses. And the city buses in New Orleans, they crazy. Look at that. That person just tried to jump in front of us. Baby, be careful now with the little wolf. The little wolf will get away from you. Look, my wife is doing her best. She's trying to get us there. Whoa. See, I'm used to driving. She's driving it now. Baby, be careful now. You want me to put the camera on you?
Why you put the camera on me? I'm just trying to get to where I need to get to, babe.
Make your peace.
I'm just trying to get to where I need to get to.
You pay attention to the road, not to me. I got it. You know it. Oh, look at the police next to you. Let me get a picture with the police.
I ain't worried about no police.
No?
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Well, who's the heathen?
You. You the felon.
I'm the felon?
Yeah.
Now you making fun of me? Wait, look at the camera. Don't be ashamed. Look, Mr.
No,
Officer. Look, police right there.
You're not a felon, baby.
I am.
No,
State of
you
Louisiana's giving me
You
a...
were.
Well, no, the state of Louisiana is making me pull all kind of paperwork just to get a provisional license to do something.
I know.
It's
baby.
ridiculous, huh?
I know.
How much have I done to help society?
A lot. You've done a lot. You've done a lot.
Tell the people like and subscribe to the Pen and the Shank.
Like and subscribe to the Pen and the Shank.
All right. So we still trying to get to this order. Whoa! Don't hit the brakes so hard. So we trying to get there, y'all. We trying to get to the order. Believe it or not, the order's only 11 minutes away, but driving in this New Orleans stuff is a lot worse than that. You know, you got that to deal with too. Look, bikes, people on bikes. That never used to be a part of New Orleans when I was growing up. Now DoorDashers are biking. You see, you got to deal with that. Bikes, police, people.
In a quarter mile, bear right onto Convention Center Boulevard.
Yep, trying to get to the DoorDash place. Look at all these, look at there, look. All the little alligator little people, that's where you get food too. Crawdaddies.
BMW drivers.
Look at that man, he's taking a pee. Oh no, he's closing the restaurant, I'm sorry. Look, don't bring your children out here. My wife, she's moving now, y'all, she's driving. She's driving like she's on Death Race 2000.
Drive southeast on Canal Street.
But we're gonna give Victoria her mambos. Just dropped off Victoria's order. I ended the dash, waiting for my wife to pull back around and pick me up, and we're gonna get outside of New Orleans. Y'all let me know how y'all liked DoorDashing on Bourbon Street and DoorDashing in New Orleans. If you like it, give me some like, subscribe, and maybe we could do some more content out there. Look, give this channel a chance. Let's get it.